your mental health equals wealth. Remember that. Hey guys, welcome back to Rams Life YouTube channel. My name is Tiara, and today I'm going to be giving you advice for how to prepare for your final exams. So, as you can see, I recently got my hair done over fall break, so this is very exciting, but that is not the point. Today, I want to help those who don't know how to prepare for their final exams or who are just very nervous and they don't know where to start, and I'm here to help you for that. To start off, I think it's important that you start planning ahead of time, meaning you should make a study schedule. It's best to make this study schedule at least 2 weeks prior before your exams. That way you know what your schedule is looking like over the course of the few weeks, because even though that you have exams, you still have classes. Sometimes your classes will start piling on assignments, and we know that that is considered death week. So it's really important that you are prioritizing your time. So to do this, I think it is best that you have a planner, which I have right here. And as you can see, I kind of have everything laid out for the month of December. And this month wasn't as busy for me, and I only have about 2 exams, so I'm not as stressed as somebody else, but I think it's important that you start managing when you want to start studying. So for me, I have exams coming up in about 2 weeks, and next week and this weekend is specifically dedicated to studying. So the best way to kind of organize how you want to study is really depending on you. You can spend about 30 minutes if that's what you want to do, or you can spend about an hour a day or every other day, and maybe you can switch between subjects if you have multiple exams, and that way you're not feeling so overwhelmed by one specific subject. And it also gives you a variety to jump from one subject to another. So along with creating a study schedule, it's also important that you create a sleep schedule. Now, this can look different from everyone, but the cool thing about this is you can actually do it on your phone. You can, if you have an iPhone or Android, you can easily download an app that'll tell you like when it's best for you to go to sleep, because studies show that an average person needs about 8 hours a day, and you want to make sure that you're getting that 8 hours within the few weeks that your exam is coming up, along with the day that your exam takes place. It's just really important because even the day of your exam, you don't want to be so exhausted from studying the night before, which we want to prevent, or you don't want to be so exhausted from you just don't want to be so exhausted taking your exam, because likely you're not going to do as best as you thought you would. So it's really important that you make that sleep schedule for yourself, so that way you can make sure to do good on your final exam. Next tip that I have is a study room. Study rooms are an absolute necessity, and if you are here on CSU, I'm going to show you where you can get a study room. So to start off, it's important to have a study room in case you have a roommate who is not as quiet, or maybe you just need some time to yourself. A study room can be very helpful. That way, surrounded by yourself, there's no noise, and it's just you and your work that you're focusing on. This can also be beneficial for group studies. If you don't want to study in your room because maybe your roommate is not okay with that, or you just need a bigger space. Here at CSU, you can reserve your rooms at the Morgan Library or the Behavioral Science Building. All you have to do is walk in and you say you want to reserve a room, or you can even do it online. And sometimes around finals, that's why it's good to start planning ahead of time, because a lot of times before final, the rooms will fill up quickly. So that's why you want to try and make sure you get it before it starts filling up. And you can easily do that online at the CSU. I'm pretty sure it's the CSU bookstore. You type it up and then you can reserve a room, the time, and how long you need it for. I definitely recommend reserving a study room, so that way that you guys can have a group study session. This is another tip to prepare you, is do a group study session. So when you have more members and when you do group study sessions, it's really nice because you guys are all in the same class, and maybe people take different notes and sometimes they may not be as confident. This is very helpful because you're able to bounce off ideas from everyone else, and that way you guys are all well prepared. You can also make flashcards. Flashcards is another thing I was going to get into. When making these flashcards, you can make them on Quizlet, or you can do them handmade. So I actually have an example. You get flashcards like this. You can get them from the Dollar Tree. In the front, you can write down the question, and then in the back, you can have the answer. And you can be doing this as a group. You can do it with your roommate, and they could just be showing you the flashcard, and then you turn it over, and you have your answer. And I think that flashcards are really beneficial. And if you're the type of person that doesn't like handheld things, you can also do this digitally. You can find apps that can make flashcards, or what I really like to do is you can find flashcards that are specifically towards your course on Quizlet. Definitely a study helpful tool for you. Next on the list, besides all of this, okay, your mental health. Your mental health equals wealth. Remember that. Your mental health is very important when it comes to these exams, when it comes to life, and make sure that even though you're still studying, even though that you have so much studying to do not let that take away from your mental health. Just make sure, one thing that I have to say out of this entire video is make sure that you are okay. And in order to do that, it means taking time to yourself. Maybe it means going to the gym, going to work out a little bit. I know that helps me. I try to get into the gym as much as I can, even if the gym is not for you. Maybe trying a new hobby or even sleeping. And on top of that, just because that you have to study, it does not mean that you have to exclude yourself from everybody else. You can still hang out with friends, and like I said earlier, making that schedule, and you can schedule in when you want to hang out with your friends, and make sure you're just prioritizing your time efficiently so that way you can do good on your exam. Like I said, mental health is definitely important, so please make sure you are taking the time to make sure that you are okay. And yeah, that's all I have to say. And along with that too, mental health can be eating good. Like, don't forget to eat during these few weeks and the day of your exam. I don't know if you guys saw my video, my basketball vlog, but I kind of talked more into like, make sure you're eating before your exam, because if you do not eat during your exam, if you do not eat before your exam, you are going to feel absolutely terrible. And I get some people are not morning eaters. If you do have a morning exam, that's okay. Eat a light snack. Just make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you're drinking good, eating good. By drinking good, I mean like waters, apple juice, orange juice, whatever it is, Powerade, hydrating stuff. And eating good means like eating healthy food. Don't just be eating junk food in the morning. Like, make sure it's something that's good and that's gonna fill you up and that can hold you until your exam is over. And lastly, if you really need to help preparing, I would say make sure you talk to your professors. This is important because you need to make sure you know where your exam is taking place. You don't want to be that person that's there late, because when you show up late, they're not going to let you in. I'm just going to let you know, like, they're probably not going to let you in. So it's important that you're communicating with your professors. Top of that, just communication is key. If you feel like you need extra help on your exam, your professors are willing to help you. They are willing. That's what they're there for. But you have to reach out to them because they're not going to reach out to you. And this also relates to my last and final tip, which is the Tilt. If you go to CSU, they have this office called the Tilt, and it is basically like a course review. And it's basically a place where you can go get extra support. So sometimes they have studying, tutoring here. They also have course reviews sometimes, and a lot of the times the TAs will be there, so it's really nice. But other than that, I wish every single person luck if you have an exam coming up. And remember what I said, mental health is wealth. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And with that being said, make sure to check out the other student vloggers and subscribe to the Rams Life YouTube channel if you haven't already.